Welcome everybody to the ACCA SBL pre-scene March 26 top 10 exam predictions from me, Richard Clark at accountancy.com. And we're looking at a company called Merceh, whatever. I'm calling it Merceh. We all need a little bit of mercy, particularly at exam time. So these are my top 10 exam predictions. I'm not saying they will come up, but I'm saying they're a great way of thinking about the exam. Now, my first one is there'll be some question about transforming ourselves digitally. I think this is a big one. The pre-seed's screaming it, really, isn't it? It's basically saying, look, my current platform is basic, just with basic customization, images, some analytics, that's about it. Whereas all the competitors, they've got paywalls, mobile apps, SEO, multimedia, all sorts of different things. So print is down 17%, and Merceh just can't afford to stand still. It needs to transform itself, doesn't it, digitally? So what you're going to have to do, and that's what I put in the little corner there, I expect professional skill to be evaluation, where you need to weigh up the pros and cons of this digital transformation, because it's going to cost money to do it, isn't it? Okay, so not just describe it, but evaluate it. Okay, that's the top tip. Here's the second top tip. In-house printing, there'll be something about that because the examiner made Merceh different. They said, unlike most publishers, they print in-house. Okay, so it's a unique fact, and when an examiner puts in a unique fact, I often think, I know your game. It's coming up. So think about it as well. There's volumes dropping, there's capacity there, in-house capacity sitting idle, unit costs rising. It's a classic. Do we keep it in-house or do we outsource it? Do we make or do we buy? Absolutely bread and butter SBL stuff, really. And I've put the professional skill that will be tested here is your commercial acumen, because you've got to think to yourself, right, okay, let's do some numbers on this, but also not just numbers. Always think about, well, if I take the in-house printing away, what happens to all the printing stuff? So think about the effect on culture as well and that sort of thing. Okay, I hope you're all happy with that. I've moved on a little bit now from very high confidence to high confidence in this coming up. And it seemed odd to me that the revenue had plateaued at 640 million, hadn't it? And the real story is that publication revenue is actually falling while advertising goes up, isn't it? And margins are shrinking from 32 down to 27%. So real analysis to be done here, is there? You need to dig into what's driving the numbers, not just state them, but what's really causing the numbers. Know them really well and use specific data. Governance, still, I think there's a high probability that this might come up, and that's because they mention that directors hold 30%, which is quite high. Now, agency theory tells you that's a good thing, doesn't it? That, if the directors hold shares and everybody's aligned, but are they aligned or are they now really entrenched? There's a voluntary risk committee, but it's nice, but it doesn't mean that it's effective. Now, if you do get a governance question, you've got to challenge the claims. So they'll claim one thing, and you've got to challenge those claims. So you've got to be really skeptical about what they tell you. Question everything, assume nothing. Moving on to number 5, cybersecurity. Again, kind of a hot topic, isn't it, really? And we're told that there's a subscriber database with payment details. Now, obviously, that is really waiting for an accident to happen, isn't it? And the board thinks the IT systems are sufficient, in inverted commas. And that word is chosen deliberately, I think. Data protection regulations are specifically mentioned. So it's a very topical issue. Examiner loves topical issues. So I would imagine a communication sort of thing here, where you get to present some proper cyber security, coming out from the new exhibits, some cyber security thing that we ought to do, and you have to tell the board why. Okay, moving on. Acquisition. We get told that we're always consolidating. Merceh buys, or will Merceh get bought themselves? Could go either way, but integration is what you've got to think of here. So not just will it be a good idea numerically, numbers wise, but what about the 200 employees? What about the culture clash? What about the systems Think of all those things, and again, you're evaluating, weighing both sides to reach a conclusion. It's a magazine, so you're thinking of content, and so when you think of content nowadays, you think of AI, and poor content is their number one risk on their register. And they also talk about their corporate social responsibilities, so they must be original, they must be trustworthy, they must counter misinformation. So where does AI fit into all that? Now be careful. Plagiarism risk, for example, that sits with AI. But be careful when you come to do your commercial acumen. Don't just say AI is risky, AI is terrible. You've got to think to yourself, well, what's the cost? What's the benefits of this? What's the trade-offs? Could I use maybe a pilot to see whether this could work? It's not black and white is what I'm saying. Okay, moving on to sustainability. Often a question on sustainability, isn't there? And Merceh promises transparent reporting, but actually only reports one metric, energy, and even that is showing less than 1% improvement in 5 years. So I think there's a gap between what they say and what they do. And that will be the analysis skill. Break down the gaps and show how they connect to each other. Now we're getting to the end of this. Prediction number 9, only a medium confidence that this will come up. So at the moment, their workforce is quite complex. There's in-house staff, freelancers, hybrid workers, 8 separate offices, and they're all dependent as well highly on really good freelancers. But what happens if those really good freelance writers leave? Staff turnover is tracked as a big KPI, and I think that's been included by the examiner for a reason. So 8 divisions with their own offices. How do you run a digital transformation, which is my top tip, across all 8 different offices? So I can imagine something like that being a type of question. Finally, going on to stakeholder engagement, and that's because there's 13 stakeholder groups. So I think that's the examiner setting up 13 stakeholder groups. There's 13 different viewpoints, 13 different potential conflicts. Their CSR, corporate social responsibility statement, says that managers are always ready to listen, but that's the kind of claim that we love to test, don't we? So the examiner's favourite move, give you a nice CSR, then show you how they don't actually match it with reality. So I've put down the communication skill here, because I think if you get this, format will matter as much as content, really. Strong answers will identify the gaps between what they say and what they do. Okay, so there's my top 10 tips. I'm not saying that they're going to come up. I'm just saying these are ones that are likely to come up in my opinion, but actually it doesn't matter, because if you think of all these things individually like we have done there, you're actually learning the case in a real in-depth, business-minded, common-sense way. That's how you pass this exam. And that brings me to the way of making sure you practice and pass is to go and practice, because what I've created on accountancy.com, if you're an Ultra member of SBL, you will, on top of all the ultra marking and everything that we do, you will get 10 questions based on these tips, okay? Where I will basically test all those tips. I'll include all 5 professional skills. We will mark them and give you your improvement points back. So it's the perfect way to do it. You get access to all the other things that we're doing, which we're doing lots. We're doing a strategic analysis pack. We are doing a recap of the whole syllabus and how Merceh links to the whole syllabus. So there's going to be a podcast. We're going to do more videos, but this is the real key one. This is the one that I want you to really focus on if you're really serious about passing. So go to accountancy.com, SBL Ultra Package. That's the sales bit out of the way, really, but I do think, it's my genuine feeling that is the way to go and pass this exam. So give yourself the best opportunity. But if I don't see you on accountancy, I wish you all the very best. And if you are an accountancy member, then, I wish you all the very, very best. And please get on Ultra and contact me on our little chat button on the site. Always there to help. And all the very best of luck to everybody watching. Good luck.